What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including War Games match not happening as thought. Is Pat McAfee returning to the WWE announce booth? Two Raw superstars stunned backstage. The real reason why TNA wrestling is back. Booker T thinks LA Knight could do the unthinkable, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new website, Wrestlelamia.com. And now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at War Games match not happening as thought. At top of today's news, should the WWE Universe expect a War Games match between Raw and SmackDown superstars? Well, fans were expecting this following 20th October SmackDown confrontation between Raw General Manager Adam Pearce and SmackDown GM Nick Aldis. However, Dave Meltzer states that's not the case and recently updated fans with the following. On last night's show, based on an angle, we talked about the possibility of a Raw vs SmackDown War Games match at Survivor Series. We're told right now that the War Games match is not planned as a Raw vs SmackDown match. Ringside News pointed out, Ringside News exclusively reported that WWE had their plan locked in for War Games. They're not shifted that direction, and it appears that they will not be going in a brand versus brand direction. While the WWE is booked into brand matches on SmackDown, including non-title champion versus champion matches on its November shows, that changed last year when Triple H introduced War Games to the main roster. However, the idea of War Games is to further and in some cases settle hot feuds, and it's difficult to imagine why the WWE would casually throw together teams for Raw and SmackDown into the two-sided cage unless there was a hot storyline surrounding them, such as the Judgment Day versus the Bloodline. Fans will have to wait and see, as the WWE seems focused on hyping Crown Jewel before it turns its attention to Survivor Series War Games. Next up, could Pat McAfee return to a WWE announce booth? The retired NFL player turned sports broadcaster delighted many fans with his work as WWE color commentator. However, Pat had to leave his SmackDown color commentary duties when he signed to appear on ESPN Game Day in 2022. Now it looks like McAfee may have some free time on his hands, as he has announced that he's not going to re-up for another stint on Game Day. McAfee, who's been criticized by some fans who feel he's not the right fit for the show, noted on social media that he'll be leaving after this season. He also commented, "It's been an absolute blast and an honor to be at the desk and to work with the fine folks at our family. It's also been really fun to work 7 days a week for the last 2 football seasons. Nice reminder that I'm still an effing dog. The dumbest life of all time shall roll on. Let's have a great NFL Sunday." Although McAfee's schedule hasn't given him time to work color commentary, he has made guest appearances whenever possible. Not only did he show up on the recent Fastlane PLE, but he also appeared at WrestleMania 39, even working a match there against The Miz. Would you guys like to see McAfee back in the announce booth? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, two Raw superstars stunned backstage. It looks like recent Raw match involving Ivar and Kofi Kingston impressed some WWE officials. You may recall that the Viking Raiders has been feuding with the New Day, but an injury to the Raiders' Eric led to fans wondering whether the program will be scrapped. Instead, the WWE booked a bout between Ivar and Kofi on Raw, a match that not only impressed many members of the universe, but WWE officials backstage as well. Fightful Select has the details saying, Fightful sources had indicated that both Kofi Kingston and Ivar had received high marks for their WWE Raw matches of late. Their first match came as a result of Eric being sidelined. Viking Raiders and New Day had been slated for a lot of time on their 2 out of 3 falls match. Instead of cutting it when Eric got injured, they had Ivar and Kofi Kingston wrestle the duration of the scheduled time. It's refreshing to see the WWE give a member of a tag team an opportunity to work singles matches while their partner is out. In the past, they've often put both members of a team on a shelf even when one was healthy. Fightful also pointed out the match got praise heaped on it. One producer noted that Ivar hadn't had a singles match on WWE TV in nearly 5 years that went over 10 minutes, and said that not only did he not miss a beat, he impressed many backstage. Could this be Ivar's chance to break out as a singles star? Although the Viking Raiders are a fantastic team, they haven't been utilized to their full capabilities, and a singles run for Ivar could open the door for some great one-on-one matchups. Ivar is a talent who not only has the size and strength, but remarkable agility and speed. Next up is Rhea Ripley headlining Elimination Chamber. I don't believe everything you hear about in the news, whether it's a wrestling news site or a TV station claiming a hometown hero is set to headline one of WWE's biggest PLEs. By now you've likely heard that the WWE is headed to Australia for February's Elimination Chamber PLE, a situation that has many Australian fans excited as well as media. However, it appears one local news station may have got a little too excited. 7 News Adelaide tweeted the following along with a story profiling Ripley's upcoming return to her hometown. Exclusive, a South Aussie wrestler will headline the WWE's first main event in Australia since 2018 in front of 60,000 fans in Perth. It's a stark contrast to Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley's humble beginnings in Adelaide 7 years ago. Now, according to House of Wrestling, fans of the Eradicator may want to wait until the WWE books the show, as creative will dictate the match and match position. The site also added the local TV news. It was just a case of local news doing what they do, but all good. Next up, the real reason why TNA Wrestling is back. TNA Wrestling is coming back and Impact Wrestling will soon be history. But why? Fans tuning into Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory pay-per-view learned that Impact will be returning to its name TNA Wrestling in 2024. This is a huge move, as the promotion has changed its name several times, starting with the original days as NWA Total Nonstop Action Wrestling and its subsequent departure from NWA affiliation when it became TNA Wrestling. From there, the promotion adopted the name Impact Wrestling before briefly joining forces with Jeff Jarrett's Global Wrestling Federation, only to adopt the Impact name again. Not only has Impact Wrestling undergone changes in its name, but the promotion has gone through different ownerships. Through it all, the promotion has managed to stay in business, enjoying various levels of success. Although businesses traditionally like to keep the same name to maintain brand identity and recognition, that hasn't stopped TNA from changing its name several times, and according to PW Insider, the company has several reasons for wanting to use the TNA name. Here's what PW Insider is reporting. 1. It would unite the fragmented history of the promotion, which at different times was known as TNA, then Global Force Wrestling, then finally Impact Wrestling. While that reason seems superficial at best, Johnson noted that some other reasons that make more sense from a business standpoint. A secondary factor in making the decision was the number of companies' international partners prefer the TNA name and at times were still using the name internally. Although some fans and critics felt that TNA name was juvenile given TNA's normal connotation, that's not the case with business partners, and according to Johnson, not with some of the company's fans. We're told that the company also quietly polled long-term fans of the promotion earlier this year and learned that many of them stated they preferred the TNA name. The PW Insider report noted that the name changes have been in the works for months now. It's also stated that there are no plans to bring back TNA's six-sided ring. And finally, Booker T thinks WWE will do the unthinkable. LA Knight is arguably the WWE's hottest babyface right now, which is why Booker T believes the WWE needs to put the Undisputed Championship on him at Crown Jewel when he faces Roman Reigns. The master of the Spinneroonie outlined how things should play out during an episode of his Hall of Fame podcast. So my thing is, I'm a fan, just like you guys. I'm wishing for LA Knight to get the big push, because one thing about this business is always talking about also the sand in the hourglass. The clock is ticking and you want to capitalize right now. LA Knight's popularity is irrefutable, but the WWE may be uncertain whether Knight's popularity will last in the long haul. Nonetheless, Booker T feels the WWE needs to move now. So I think that's the same thing with LA Knight. He's hot, man. He's hot. He's white hot. And if they pull the trigger on it on LA Knight, I think the people would go nuts. I really do. You talk about the Intercontinental Championship, I'm talking about the World Championship, the WWE title. If they put it on him right now, people go nuts. They really would. Now, the WWE finds itself in a tricky position as it can't afford to cool Knight's popularity off with a poorly booked loss to Reigns. However, the rumor has it that WWE is adamant about Reigns keeping the title through WrestleMania 40. And here's the bad news. In order to beat Hulk Hogan's record, he has to retain it at WrestleMania 40. Well, there you have it, folks. The wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.